On the 19th of June, 2026, a rover that has been driving across Mars for 14 years pointed its camera at the ground and sent home a picture that stopped its own science team cold. A field of honeycombs. Thousands of them, stretching away to the horizon. The project scientist, Ashwin Vasavada, described it like this. "We've seen a lot of fascinating landscapes through Curiosity's eyes, but this sea of polygons took our breath away. And here is what makes it more than just a pretty picture." NASA has 3 competing explanations for how this formed. Every single one of them requires water. To understand why that matters, you need to know where Curiosity is standing. It landed inside Gale Crater in 2012. A 150-kilometer wide impact basin with a mountain in the middle. Mount Sharp, 5 kilometers tall, built from layer on layer of sediment laid down over hundreds of millions of years. Curiosity has spent more than a decade climbing that mountain. And climbing it is the same thing as traveling forward through Martian time. Down at the bottom, the rocks are full of clay minerals. Clay forms in standing water. Higher up, the layers turn to sulfate salts. Sulfates form as water evaporates away. So the mountain is a record of Mars drying out. And Curiosity has been driving straight through the middle of that transition. Which brings us to a valley called Valle Grande. On sols 4930 and 31, Curiosity's mast camera imaged the valley floor. What came back was a surface broken into irregular polygons. Ridges standing slightly proud of the rock, meeting each other at sharp angles. Each cell is small. 4 to 8 centimeters across. About the size of your palm. But they do not stop. They run to the limit of what the cameras can resolve, and they climb the sides of a nearby butte that the team nicknamed Miraflores. Curiosity has driven past patches of polygonal cracking before. Never anything like this. This is the first time the mission has found them at landscape scale. So why does a pattern in the dirt matter this much? Because on Earth, we know exactly what makes them. Go to a dried lake bed, a mudflat, a salt pan, and you will find the same geometry. Wet mud shrinks as it dries. It cracks. The cracks spread into a network. And the shape of that network carries information. When mud dries once and stays dry, the cracks tend to meet in T-shaped junctions. But when mud is wetted and dried again and again, the pattern reorganizes. The junctions become Y-shaped, and the cells turn hexagonal. T-junctions mean it happened once. Y-junctions mean it happened over and over and over. In 2021, Curiosity drilled into a rock called Pontours, sitting right inside that clay to sulfate transition. And the team found hexagons. Y-junctions. Ridges enriched with sulfate salt. Those results were published in the journal Nature in 2023. And the conclusion was significant. Early Mars did not just get wet once. It went through sustained cycles of wetting and drying. Regular, repeated, and possibly seasonal. That matters more than it might sound. There is a long-standing idea in origin of life chemistry that you need exactly this. Simple molecules floating in water do not spontaneously assemble into long chains, because water pulls them back apart. But wet them, dry them, and wet them again, and the drying step concentrates those molecules and drives them to link together. Wet-dry cycling is one of the most promising known routes from simple chemistry to the building blocks of life. Which is exactly why the Valle Grande field is such a big deal. And exactly why NASA is being careful. The team has put forward 3 candidate mechanisms. 1. Drying mud. The same process as Pontours, on a far larger scale. 2. Repeated cycles of warm and cold, with thermal contraction fracturing the rock. 3. Compression, squeezing water out of the sediment while it was buried under later layers. They have not chosen between them. As of right now, this is unsolved. But notice what those 3 have in common. Drying needs water. Freeze and thaw cycling needs water. Squeezing water out of sediment needs water. Whichever one turns out to be right, this landscape is a record of a wetter Mars. And the answer would tell us how long that water stuck around, and whether the conditions that matter for prebiotic chemistry lasted long enough to count. Curiosity is still out there, still driving. And the answer is somewhere inside the data it is sending back right now.